What's going on, guys? We're here in Freedom RPG again today. Not Everweave, but Freedom RPG, which is a little more immersive. And if you want to try out Freedom RPG, by the way, check out the description. There's a link in the description, a unique registration link where you can get bonus credits for signing up. Now, RPG again today. Not Everweave, but Freedom RPG. I just added a new thing to the system here where I'll get experience points for passing successful skill checks. That's one cool thing about this game. It's really customizable, and the AI really builds it into the system. The AI built this whole thing for me, like to my request, and now we just added this thing where I'll get experience based on skills that I use, because I use a lot of skills instead of fighting with this guy a whole lot. And I will fight sometimes, but so if you missed the first video, this is part 2. You may not know that, the backstory behind this. He was on a job. He was hired to go take this chest and go take it to a drop spot. Turns out somebody was watching him there. He snuck up behind the guy. The guy was supposed to take him out so that he could go take the chest in, and whoever, got the chest wouldn't know where it came from. That kind of deal. And so I ended up not being able to stop that guy from getting back to the place in time. So I put everything on brutal difficulty, and it's definitely brutal for sure. And the game is like set for gritty realism and brutality. But anyway, now I've taken this chest down here. It's got some kind of magical living thing inside of it, and I was trying to sell it off, but nobody wants to buy it. Now somebody's telling me about the organization that was trying to take me out. They're telling me what the Pale Moth actually is, which is the organization who's doing this double crossing thing here, because I actually took it from them, and then I was hired from them to do that. It's this registered magical item they were trying to get out of the public eye so they could have it behind the scenes. It's a very conspiracy driven campaign. And anyway, here's this person I'm talking to down here in the underworld here. The Pale Moth's not a place you've walked past, love. No sign, no door on any lane. It's a house. Quiet money, the kind that lives up where the air's clean. Comes down through cutouts to buy the things that can't be bought in daylight. Okay, so it's a house up in the higher districts of Aethelgard where the nobles live. She taps the box with one black-stained nail. Single tap, then withdraws the hand like it's warm to the touch, which of course it is. And these are what it sells: reclamations. Things that were bound into a shell so they'd hold still and behave, and then sold quiet to a buyer with a cabinet and a taste. Some of what's in those boxes started as spirit, some started as worse, some, they say, started as a person who owed the wrong house. Okay, so they got little sentient items, it sounds like. Your warm little parcel isn't cargo, child, it's stock. It was born to be sold on the moth's floor. Somebody up top wanted it on that floor badly enough to round it past the Inquisition's own transit, which tells you the moth and the silver helms aren't nearly the strangers the helms would like you to think. Right. She settles back, letting that sit in your gut where it belongs. Okay. So you want to know which landing that 3-bar mark points to and which cutout knocks the door. I've got it. But a door like that, I don't give directions to it for free. And a smile. It's funny because the AI tries really hard to like mimic human euphemisms, and and it comes up with its own because it's trying to be like unique, come up with its own euphemisms, and they're strange sometimes, you know. For free and a smile, like that's something somebody says. But anyway, not to a man. Not to a man, the wire's already hunting. That's what I mean. I don't even know what that means. Not to a man, the wire's already hunting. Not, oh, wire is. It's doing that again. The conjunction for wire is instead of wires like possessive. It's grammatically accurate, but it's just not common today to do that. So, not to the man, the wire is already hunting. And I guess the wire is supposed to be some kind of like underground term for, you know, authorities of some sort. That must be what that means. You have to think about it sometimes to get behind the metaphors that the AI tries to use, because sometimes they're not common. Sometimes they're really eloquent, though. The counter sits between you in the ward incense gloom. A blind old fence who won't touch your prize but holds the one thing you came down here for, and a price she's letting you sweat before she names. Yeah. Third bell in an hour. Third bell's in an hour. Okay. That's when this thing was supposed to be delivered. The box forms against your ribs. Born to be sold on a floor. You now know the shape of, if not, the door. Okay. And that's when I added the whole experience thing. And we're going to start that now. So, yeah. I guess we're going to have to ask her price to tell us where the door is. This is going to be the best, easiest thing. Tell us where this pale moth is supposed to be at. And I've been having in my mind here over the last couple of days what I'm going to do about this situation. This Freedom RPG is a little more like, especially on brutal mode and telling it specifically to be challenging, is really intimidating, like more of a long-term campaign that you don't have to be as creative to keep running. Like for the Everweave videos, I've been trying to find like a creative way to make it follow an adventure prompt, and then, to give less and less to the player about, less in the hands of the player what the mystery is, you know what I mean? So that it's generating the mystery, but you're giving it like the framework of the adventure. That's a whole different experiment. This is more of like long-term campaign. I don't actually have to be as creative because the AI seems to be doing a good job of holding the narrative and keeping the narrative going here. And I can't just take over this town in 2 days. You know what I mean? This is a realistic D&D campaign where you can set the Dungeon Master's personality. I mean, I guess you can do that on Everweave too. Actually, I have done that, but it's just not the same. As you can see, I mean, you've watched both. You've watched both. And it's honestly, Everweave is better on the phone. It's designed to be better on the phone. But for people who have like a lot of experience in RPGs, Freedom RPG is the one where you want to sit down and have a really immersive experience. It feels like the old days, and by that I mean also very difficult too, because the old days weren't easy if you're a D&D player. So don't pretend like they were. Right. I didn't think she wanted coin. She's down here. She's a fence. I got coin buried all over the place. From you I want a marker, one favor owed to me, called when I like for a thing I don't name tonight. You don't haggle it. You don't ask what it'll be. You just owe me. Okay. I was thinking either that or she already had something in mind, but that's good too. And one more thing, and this you'll want to give me, so don't puff up. That parcel came routed past the silver helms by a hand that lives up where the air's clean. You're going to go looking for that hand. A man wears a look like yours. He doesn't let a thing like tonight lie when you find the name on it. What? She leans in, and the ward charms on her apron click together. Oh, she's trying to talk about me. Okay. Okay, a man who wears a look like yours. He doesn't let a thing like tonight lie. Not like lie as in deception, but lie as in lie down and forget about it. Sometimes you really got to think about what the AI is talking about. I need something to drink. Okay, when you find the name on it, she leans in, and the ward charms on her apron click together. You bring it here to me first. Before you sell it, before you spend it, before you use it to get yourself killed. A name like that's worth 10 of your box. I get the first look. That's my price for the moth's door. Oh, I thought she wasn't going to name it tonight. I don't really even know what she's talking about. Cheap for what you're buying, costs you nothing. You're holding tonight. Yeah, okay. And that, of course, is the whole trick of it. An open debt to a woman who sells everything, and first claim on the one secret that might be your only leverage against people who could erase you. Cheap tonight, dear Constable. Um, out of, let's see, out, OOC, out of character. Um, I'm not sure I understand the secret that she is wanting first dibs on. Is it that she wants the name of the people behind the pale moth? She tells me where they are, and I tell her about it later. Is that it? plus the favor, of course. See if that's what they're talking about. Okay, what's she selling you? The location of the pale moth, right? I got that established. Which tier / landing the 3-bar mark points to? Okay, yeah, I remember. I remember that the 3-bar. It has 3 bars underneath it, like it was a trading mark of some kind, like a tag of some kind. And which cutout knocks the door? Yeah, okay. That's the thing you came down here for. She hands that over now. Okay. She, man, they're still doing fireworks outside randomly, and it's not even dark right now, and it just really startles me. Okay, the marker. One open-ended favor. Owed to her, called whenever she wants, for something she won't name tonight. A blank check with your name on it. Okay, I got that too. First dibs on the name. Okay, now I don't have this part, so good thing it's a whole paragraph. This is not the moth's location. She's giving you that. I got that. Okay. It's the identity of the person behind it all. Okay, that's what I actually thought. So I think we're on the right track here. That's okay. The hand up in the clean air tears who arranged to route this box past the Inquisition. Right now, nobody you've met knows who that is. Mhm. Quist didn't. The cleaner didn't. Oh yeah, Quist is nobody. Okay. Quist is the guy who was handing jobs across a counter, like under a little slip, slipping paper under a thing. And I got my job, and the guy who was sitting after me got the job from the same counter. And anyway, Quist is nobody. So Quist didn't know either, and the cleaner didn't know. That's the guy who was coming after me. He didn't know nothing. It's the central mystery. Nettle. Nettle's the fence I was talking to. Okay, I gotta remember that one because she's the one I owe a favor to, and she's cool. Nettle is betting that a man like you, hunted and angry, is going to go dig until you find that name. And she wants you to bring it to her first before you sell it, spend it, or use it as leverage so she gets a claim on most valuable secret in this whole mess. Yeah, and she wants me to, I, and this is actually really smart, a subtle narrative pull from the DM so that whatever way I go about finding this, when I do eventually get there through whatever creative means we come by, I know there's a landmark in the story where it has to return. I got to return to this person before I decide what I'm going to do with the name. And then she is going to give me her favor, probably, when she has the name. And it's probably not going to be pretty. Let's see. So yeah, she tells you where the moth is, plus you owe her a favor. Plus you promise her first look at the name behind it once you uncover it. What you don't have yet is a promise about future information. The catch is that both of her prices are things you'd rather keep. Your freedom to act, the favor. It's okay, I can owe her a favor. I'm not too up on that. You do a job for her, whatever. And your only future leverage against people who could erase you, the name. I mean, it's not like I lose the name once I give it to her. So, not that bad still. I think the AI is making a bigger deal out of it than it really is. I think it sounds like a good deal. Yeah, I'll take the deal. Sure, I'll take the deal. I'm sure somebody like you can at least tell me a good place to hide this box while I investigate. I'm a beacon with it on me. So is she. I leave that part out. I'm sure she already knows. So the AI is putting a lot of thought into this response. We got something big coming, I think. Of course, it probably just mapped out that next stage of the whole quest where I go to hide the box because it's probably thinking that's what I'm going to do next. Applauded. I'm not sure exactly what that means. I don't know the code. Nettle spits on her palm and offers it across the counter, the old way, the binding way, and when you take it, her grip is dry and strong as knotted cord. Okay, gross. Done then. Good thing I'm wearing gloves. Marker and the name. When you've got it, I'll know if you spend it elsewhere first, love. I always know. She doesn't gloat, she just delivers the way an honest crook prides herself on. Okay. Your 3 bars count up. Third gallery of the. Okay. Third gallery of the Vertigus Ascent. Sounds fancy. On the ambergris landing. First of the clean air tiers. Nice, we're breathing good tonight. But the mid-levels put on a collar and pretend they are gentry. No idea what that means. There's a perfume. There's a perfumer's on that gallery with no name over the door and a little moth cut into the glass. That's the face of it. The door is behind. You want in, you don't knock. You buy a bird off the cage seller, stood outside. And you tell him you're here for the evening air. You'll want to see a chit, like the one in your pocket. Chit? Coiled moth chit. Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember where I got that. It's just somewhere in that last thing. Okay. If I want in, I need to buy a bird off the Kate seller who's standing outside. I'll tell him I'm here for the evening air. Okay. I need to, how do you mark? We'll just scroll up if I forget. Getting up to Ambergris is your problem. There's a tier gate, and it likes clean papers, and you're wearing a knight that isn't clean. I don't know what the knight that isn't clean part is about, but I guess I get it. Like as in, I'm not registered to be up there. I'm a mid-levels boy. Then before you can ask, she's already reaching under the counter because you asked the smart question, and smart questions she rewards. And you're right, you are a beacon. She sets down a squat case, lead gray, its lid lined with felt and coarse gray salt and a lattice of dull wards. Okay, cool. She's giving me a lead lined box with some wards around it to hide it. Smugglers call lead, salt, a low ward. Won't hide that parcel forever. The pulse eats through in a day, day and a half. But shut it in here and nothing hungry hears it. And no ward lamp catches it. 10 gold. And cheap at twice. Okay, does that mean that the real value of it's 20 gold, but she's selling it to me for 10? Is that what that's supposed to mean? Not sure. As for where to leave it, not with me. Yeah, I don't blame you. And not on you when you walk a tier gate. There's a dead ward cell 3 levels down off the old reliquary drains. Cold, forgotten, its own ward still humming. A thing hidden in there is a whisper in a thunderstorm. I'll draw you the way. The case sits between you, 10 gold, a hidden cache, and your beacon gone quiet, if you want it. Yeah, I do want it. Where's my gold at? Out of character. Can't seem to find my gold listed on my character sheet. And forgot how much I have. Maybe we can just add it. Got 75 gold on you right now. Your original 45 plus the 30 you lifted off the cleaner's purse in the stall. Cleaning for needles, 10 gold coal. And you're right that it wasn't showing on your sheet. That's an oversight on my end. I've added a gold line in your character panel, so it's always visible from here on. Cool, gold right here, 75. All I got, 75. I could have swore that on my original instructions for the character sheet we put like 300, but that's fine actually. It's not a problem. I don't care. I think we might have spent it on all this stuff anyway, like my extra gear. I don't know if there's a way I can shorten the narrative just a little bit. Because, boy, that is long-winded, man. Pay 10 gold. Seal the box in the call. And stash it in the dead ward cell nettle names. Beacon, silenced, prize hidden on dig. Okay. Alright. Yeah, we do need to do that. We got to get rid of this thing for a little while. Okay, so she takes the gold. Alright, so I've got it locked away in the case here. What do I roll for? Stealth to reach the ward? Okay, I'm already rolling to stealth my way down there. So let's skip ahead. We don't need to read all that narrative fluff every time. It's a lot. Okay, so I'm reaching the ward cell cache without being seen. 15 success. I had a DC of 14. Wow, goodness. These guys out here, man. Forgotten iron door, 3 levels down. Took the great call into the cell's cold throat, pulled the door to, and let its ancient wards fold over you. Your prize like snowfall over a stone, whatever. First time to the foundry, somewhere far above, muffled down through the tiers. The great chronolith's toll, third bell. Okay, third bell is going off. So this thing's supposed to be delivered. It's gone. Everybody knows it's gone now. Well, not everybody. At dawn, the most important people are going to know it's gone, but the underworld knows it's gone. Yeah, now I need to go to the mentor. Now that I've stored this thing away, now I need to go to the mentor. Because I wasn't trying to bring that thing around him. I already know. Now that yeah, I'm just going to I'm going to tell him. Now I need to go to Silas that I have it stored away because I don't know what to do. And the game already has embedded in it that he's just a really wise old master thief, retired, that mentored me. And so it's already going to have it in it that he's going to give me a good idea of what to do. I bet. Okay, it's giving us an image of Silas here, our mentor. Still generating it. Cool, I need a break from talking for a minute. It can be really long-winded, but I think you're supposed to sit here and read it, not talk. Cool, he looks kind of like Mick. Old Mick from Rocky. Alright, so I give him the urgent knock that we've established. Alright, so the door drags open on a wire, and there he is, Silas, the old guy who looks like Mick from Rocky. Grayer than last season, buttoned to the throat, pale eyes already past your shoulder, counting the dark behind you before they ever land on your face. What are these, like, extended sentences? He doesn't say hello. He never says hello. Alone? You sure? Don't tell me you're sure. Show me you thought about it before you answer. He steps back to let you in, and the bolt folds around you both. A windowless coffin of a room, a shrouded lamp, a table strewn with picks and maps, a hatch in the floor, and 3 bolted ways out. He latches the door behind you on its wire, and only then, in the amber gloom, does he really look at you. The changed hood, the grease on your cheek, the night hanging off you like smoke. Sit. Talk low. You broke sequence, boy. You've never once broken sequence. So, whatever this is, start at the part where it went wrong. I gotta go make sure that wasn't bad. I got guys out here that are complete. Just, you should not be blowing those kind of fireworks over here by the apartment. They don't know what they're doing. They're too close, and they keep making me really nervous, man. They're not very smart. They're like 18. They have no idea what life even is. Okay. Yeah, I gotta lay it all out to him. Lay it all out. He can't give me good advice if I don't tell him the whole thing. It's not even 4th of July, okay? It's 5th of July right now. You know that? You know it's the 5th of July right now. Got a whole year. We got a year before the year is over now. You give it to him the way he taught you to give a report. No color, no excuses. In order, the fixture and the clean half payment. The foundry, the lockbox, and the overseer's drawer. The Inquisition ward check that walked 6 feet past you. The dead drop that was a grave. And the cleaner in the stall. Quist's name. And the chit off the cleaner's collar. That's right. With the kill order on it. Rooftop, the arrow. Yeah, shot an arrow at that guy to try to stop him from getting back, to tell him that he didn't kill me. And he got back in time while injured. And then I ran off. Nettle, you guys saw all that part. Silas listens without a word. At Boundary, his mouth tightens. Yeah, he doesn't like the syndicates. He's a free agent. At Reclamation, something crosses him, and when you set the chit on his table under the lamp coiled moth up, he stops. Not a flinch, a cessation. The restless eyes go to the wax and simply stop moving, and for a long moment the old man doesn't breathe. His hand, halfway to the picks on the table, settles flat instead, like a man steadying himself on a rail. When he speaks, it's quieter than before, and the dryness has gone out of it. Take your hand off it. You already have. He doesn't touch it either. 9 years I've kept a wall between me and that little bug, boy. Oh, here we go. And you carried it through my door in your coat like it was a chit for the ill stand. He sits back, the lamp throws the seams of his face into deep shadow. Something you have genuinely never seen on him is sitting there now, plain as the scar on his hand. Silas is afraid. You want the truth plain, so here's the plain of it. This isn't a job that went bad, a job that goes bad. You lost money, you lost skin. You go to ground and it blows over. The moth doesn't blow over. His eyes flick to yours hard. It isn't a gang, it's clean air money that buys and sells things that were people. And it owns enough silver helms that the law doesn't hunt it. The law carries for it. Okay? They made you to be a corpse with a record, so the box would surface off a nobody. Nobody would miss. You spoiled that by living. Now you're not a loose end to them. You're a mistake, and they are very, very good at correcting mistakes. Pause. He looks at the chit again and away, like it hurts. So before I say one more word, before I open the door I've kept shut in 9 years, or shut 9 years, I need to hear what you actually mean to do, because there's two roads out of this, and they don't run the same direction. You can vanish tonight, Leave the box to rot in that cell. Let them chase a ghost, and I'll teach you how to be no one for real. You go the other way. You go after the hand that meant to bury you. That road. Which is it? And don't tell me what you think I want to hear. Lamp gutters. Somewhere above. The third bell's echo dies in the pipes, and Silas waits, not blinking, for the answer that decides which for the answer that decides which of you he becomes tonight. The mentor who teaches a boy to disappear, or the old ghost who finally turns and looks at the thing he ran from. Yeah, well, definitely not going to disappear. We are going to take down the moth, and then we are going to, yep, I'm going to go after him. He probably wants to hear that I'm going to vanish. I got to go after him before dawn. Not this wait around stuff. I have to go after them before dawn. Before the rest of the city knows what is missing. I have a few hours. I should have been maybe a little bit more specific with the AI here. But hey, I mean, it can spend some time interpreting my language too. You watch him weigh it. For a moment, you think he'll argue. The old reflex, run, boy, always run. But whatever he sees in your face when you say before the city knows, changes his mind. It's his own arithmetic, done in his own voice, and he taught it to you. His shoulders drop a fraction. Something that is almost pride and entirely grief moves through the seams of his face. Now, that was very realistic and eloquently spoken there, actually. I really like that. That was well done. Of course you do. I'd have run. That's the difference between us, and it's the difference I tried to teach into you, and you never once took. He rubs the burn scar on the back of his hand with his thumb. A tale you have seen maybe twice in your life. Fine. Then I open the door, but you listen to all of it because the part that saves you is at the end. Of course, this guy is the owl in Ocarina of Time standing on the branch. "9 years back I ran a crew, good crew. We took a job off a mark like yours, clean coin, half up front, like a worded parcel, and walk it to a quiet house. Same smell as your night, boy, the exact same smell, and I was too fat off the fee to sniff it. I know how you feel. Oh, speaking of which, just never mind. The parcel wasn't a parcel, and then the house decided my crew knew too much. They didn't kill us. Killing cheap. Killing's cheap, and it leaves bodies. They reclaimed my second woman named Belle, bound her into a shell like the one in your cold cell, and sold her. Oh no. To a buyer up top of the cabinet. They're like binding people to these sentient items. That's crazy. And there was, well, items. Binding them to items, making them sentient. And there was not one law in this whole stone canyon I could go to because the law helped carry her out. Yeah. That mark, the moth over the two letters you couldn't read. I can read it. It's a man's seal. He runs the house. He runs the house as buying. Okay. Decides what gets reclaimed, who fetches it, who gets tidied after. In my day, he called himself the curator. His name is Halbrook Vin. Oh, look at this punk. Look at this punk. I bet that amulet isn't even magical. It's probably just... He just thinks it looks cool, but it doesn't. Okay, his name is Halbrook Vin, and if he's still breathing, he keeps a counting house on the underside of the Ambergris Landing and works his ledgers past every honest bill. He's your hand, boy. He's the one who bought your death, and he's up there right now. Closest one to your gate, which is exactly the gate you'll got if you walk it wearing this night. What are you talking about? If you walk it wearing this night? I'm not letting you walk it alone, not this one, so tell me what you need, and let's see if the old man still got a trick or two before they put me in a box, too. I don't know, Silas. You look a little rickety there, buddy. Alright, so he reaches for his real tools. Amber's gate won't pass a face like yours tonight, but it'll pass paper. If the paper's good, and mine's the best that's left down here. Okay, he's got good papers to get through. He sets the tin down, but he doesn't open it yet, watching you. So what do you need from me first, before you go put your hand in a clean man's throat? What are you talking about? Some of the phrases, man, I just don't even know what they're talking about. Oh, okay, he's helping me. Yeah, he's not like coming with me. Come with me? Nah, no. Not asking him to come with me. He needs to sit his old self down and just keep getting wiser, okay? You're doing your job over here. Just keep doing your job, getting wiser. That's how you help. Yeah, I'm going to teach Vin to put a contract out on me. That's my thinking. Um, Look. Cost time toward dawn. I can't plan the whole thing together. Well, now I can't just sit here and plan the whole thing. I gotta have a little leeway. I can't sit here and plan the whole thing out. There's not enough time. I need a general layout, enough to get me there with plenty of time before dawn if I improvise on the way. Uh, I need to go check on that last one then. Alright, so he pulls out the box. It's got blank chits, wax nubs, a nest of house seals. So he's about to forge me some stuff. Hamburger's Gate wants a reason and a rank. You're a clerk. Junior Assay, Night Ledger. Name of Wind Caro. Called up to certify a late consignment. Boring. Boring passes. Guards hate a clerk. They have the boredom through. They wave the boredom through so it stops talking to them. Okay. Vin's counting house is on the underside of the landing. Say office out front, respectable as a church. He works the back late, alone, but for a clerk and a doorman, no bruisers. His muscle is a law. There's a bot constable. Walks that alley. Okay. And wards on the strong room. They'll shriek if you're clumsy. He slides the papers across, still warm, and when you reach for them, he keeps two fingers on the corner a half second longer than he needs to. He warns me against he warns me a bit against going up there and like kill him or whatever, but taking all his ledgers, taking his money and his books. Then keeps a ledger of every soul that house ever bought and sold, and every clean air name that paid for it. You walk out of that counting house with those, and you don't have to threaten anyone. You all in the room. That's a knife that cuts uphill. All right, so we got to go in, get the ledgers, get out. We head straight for the gate. Yeah, and you grab a little disguise, a clerk's disguise. Yeah, how do I open his worded books? That's important. I need some kind of advantage for rolling that so I don't wake the whole place up. That's going to be a really crucial roll when we get there. Okay. So he digs into his tin, comes out with a coil of fine silver wire and a slim pair of insulated pinch clips, pressing them into your palm. Argent counting house wards are lazy. They don't watch the log, they watch a circuit. A hair of silver thread run round the strong room frame, closed in a loop, humming to itself. Pick the lock, break the door, break the loop. It feels the loop, go open, and it screams. He mimes it with 2 fingers. So you don't let it go open. You find where the thread seats, hinge plate, or under the lintel. Always one seam where it's reachable. You clip across it with these, bridge it, and the loop stays whole to the ward's ear even after you've cut it. Okay, so I don't understand exactly what he said there, but apparently if I use this wire, I can keep the circuit open, like so that it doesn't trip the ward. It just stays active instead of like tripping the alarm. Okay. Then you pick the lock at your leisure. Okay. Cool. Two things. Find the seam before you cut anything. You go at the first door you've already lost, and the books themselves may carry a little page ward of their own. If the ledger is cold to the touch, don't read it there. Take it and read it somewhere the shriek won't call anyone. Yeah. I'm not going to have time to sit up there and have story time. The wire and clips go into an inner pocket, snug beside the moth chit. You've got the cover, the layout, the one trick you couldn't steal on the fly, and that old man's blessing, which from Silas is a rarer thing than gold. Oh, how sweet. 2 thieves. 2 thieves of similar disposition. Alright, we're heading out. Approach the tier gate as Wind Caro. Watch the gate first, read its rhythm. That's not what Wind Caro would do. Wind Caro would just go up there and do to get it over with and get past. Approach the tier gate as Wind Caro. Walk up in the clerk's cover and present Silas's papers cold. A deception play. Board slow. Skill XP on a clean pass. Alright, so we're rolling. This is a path to a deception check right here. Alright, let's do a deception check. While wearing our disguise. It's thinking about all the conditions, I think, to make the DC just right, because there's a lot playing in here. The climb up to the clean air is a different city with every tier. The smog thins, the stairs get swept. Nice. Swept stairs, that is nice. Grime gives way to lamplit stone. And then, at the boundary of the ambergris landing, the tier gate. A bottleneck of pale dressed stone straddling the only public stair up. A ward lamp burning steady white above it. And 2 tier wardens in gray and silver livery. Working a slow trickle of late traffic. Not gutterway muscle. These ones can read. You become Wind Caro on the last flight up. Shoulders round, chin down, the bored shuffle of a man called out of bed to certify someone else's paperwork. The long coat does its work over the blade at your hip. You join the short queue, and when the warden holds out a gloved hand without looking, you lay Silas's warm, perfect papers into it like a man who's done it 100 dull times. Okay, yes, I passed this deception check with only a +3. Deception +3? I don't know why I only have a +3. I have a +1 in charisma. So, what's going on here? At least I succeeded. If I had failed, maybe I'd bring it up. I'll bring it up if that happens again and I fail. The warden's eyes flick over the papers. The seal, the ledger number, the board clerk attached to them, and find exactly the nothing Silas built them to find. He's already reaching for the next person in line before he's done with you. A grunt, a stamp, the papers come back into your hand. Assay's third gallery. Constable's walking the verdigris tonight, so keep your lamp lit and your hands where he likes them. Forward, slow. He's forgotten your face before you've cleared the turnstile. And then you're through. Over the painted line, out of the smog, into clean air. It's another world up here. There's the other world, I guess. It definitely is another world. And it hits you like cold water. Lamplit terraces of pale stone, window boxes, the smell of somebody's late supper that isn't fried tallow. Quiet, ordered, swept. The kind of place where a man can be erased with a signature instead of a knife. Somewhere on the underside of this genteel shelf past a nameless perfumer with a moth in the glass. Harbrook Vin. This little weasel-looking forehead guy is bent over his ledgers in the small hours, certain the only thing loose from tonight's business is a body he hasn't been told about yet. He's about to have a very bad morning. You just have to reach him before the sun does, and mind a constable who's walking the exact gallery you're headed for. Okay, you're in. Clean air for its name, one trick in your pocket, and a fastidious man's ledgers waiting somewhere on the underside of his pretty shelf. Now it's the part you're actually good at. Getting to a locked room without anyone the wiser, and a constable pacing the very gallery you need. Scout the counting house from across the gallery. Case Vin's frontage, the doorman, constable circuit, and the roof line before you pick your way in. Perception. Don't like my chances for perception. Wait, I had the perception skill, so that's good. Take the underside, come in from below, skip the front entry, work the landings underside on climber's kit to reach the strong room. Don't like the climber's kit option. Walk in as the clerk. Here to certify. Use the wind carrow cover to get through the front door. Maybe. Then slip through your leash once inside. I gotta take just a break for a second. I have to use the bathroom. Okay, so we're either going to scout it out from across the alley, across the gallery, I mean, or walk in as a clerk, time the constable, then move, watch the bot constable's rounds, and use the gap in his circuit to reach the counting house unseen. Yeah, that's gonna be what I'm doing for sure. Time the constable, then move. I want to try to get in unseen. I'm not going to try to do my disguise again here. You know, I can work the disguise if I get caught. We're going to switch to stealth mode here. Okay, successful stealth roll. Oh, that was a perception roll that I was successful at. Down the Vertigus Gallery, a genteel arcade of shuttered curio shops and brass nameplates, you find your mark by its very dullness. A narrow frontage of grey stone, a discreet brass plate reading only assay and notary. Shutters closed, but a thread of lamplight bleeding from a rear window where a fastidious man works too late. A doorman sits on a stool by the entrance, chin dipping toward sleep, and there unhurried comes the constable. Gray-caped, truncheon swinging, walking the gallery like he owns the hour. Kinda does. You fold into the recessed doorway of a shuttered milliner's across the way. Kill your outline. and do the boring life-saving work. You watch the clock of him. Okay, that was the perception. Get his timing down. Okay. Patience turns the constable into a clockwork toy. 2 full circuits and you have him cold. Gallery's length in a shade under 7 minutes, and at the far end, every time he stops under the last lamp to thumb open a pocket watch and tamp a pipe back to the gallery. A good 2 minutes of a man looking at anything but you. That's your window, and it's a generous one. Okay. The high, careful read hands you 2 things more. First, the doorman only looks asleep because each pass the constable slows and gives him a small nod, and the doorman lifts 2 fingers back. Ooh, nice perception check gave me that. They're friendly, bought most like, the both of them. The door is watched, even when it's snoring. Second, between Vin's frontage and the shuttered milliner, beside it runs a black hairline of a service gap, barely shoulder width, dropping toward the landing's underside and the rear, where the thread of lamplight leaks from Vin's own window, cracked a finger for the night air. The front is a trap wearing a nap, but the side gap is dark, unwatched, and points straight at the soft-lit window of the man himself. The constable turns for the far lamp. Your 2 minutes start now. 2 minutes ticking. The constable's back is gray smudge under the far lamp. The doorman's chin bobs. The service gap yawns black and narrow. 10 quick steps across the lamplit gallery away. And beyond it, a cracked window and a fastidious man who thinks you're already dead. Cross to the service gap now. Take the gap, then climb to the roof. Use the gap to get out of sight, then go vertical for a rooftop way in above the strong room. Your element, away from the window's light. Spin the window. Slip across the gallery into the dark side gap and down toward Vin's cracked rear window. Stealth on the clock. That's what we want to do for sure. By the way, guys, this is Freedom RPG here. If you're interested in trying out, check out the description. I've got a unique registration link in there. You'll get bonus credits for using that to sign up. Alright, well, I failed my stealth check by 1 point. That's nice. Imagining what happens when I fail my stealth check. It always feels like there's so much more at stake in Freedom RPG than in Everweave. You make the gap, just sliding into its cold black throat as the constable's watch lid winks at the far lamp, but behind you, the scuff and grunt of a heavy man standing up says, your luck ran a hair short. The hell was that? The doorman's on his feet. Man, I hurt my neck somehow. You press flat into the gap's dark shoulder to Weeping Stone and go still as a held breath, but he's not settling back down. Sorry, 1 second. Boots scuff across the flagstones toward you, unhurried, wary. Through the sliver of gallery light at the gap's mouth, you see him come, thick-set, low-cap, small eyes hunting the dark, and one blunt hand already up at his collar, fingers curled around a brass whistle. One good blast on that, and the clockwork constable stops being a problem you've timed and starts being a problem that's running at you. He stops at the mouth of the gap, close enough that you can hear him breathe, squints into the black where you are, letting his eyes adjust. 3 seconds, maybe 4, before the dark gives you up. Yeah, he's looking right at me. Okay, so I got about 4 seconds before he spots me, is what it's saying. Okay. Take him before the whistle sounds. Bluff as wind caro, lost and flustered. So if I roll this stealth roll, it's probably going to be a hard one. Or I could sneak attack him. Slip down the gap toward the rear. Break contact downward toward the underside and Vin's window. Betting you're quicker in the dark than he is after you. Yeah, I might try that one actually. And then, I mean, but if I fail this, he's definitely going to blow the whistle though. That's the thing. If I fail this roll, there's no doubt he's blowing the whistle. All right, let's try to slip away toward Vin's window. I don't know, man. He's all right. Let's just do it. Gotta have a good roll here. Yes. Pushing off the wet stone and pouring yourself deeper into the gap's black downslope toward the rear. Quick and low and quiet as spilled oil. Betting everything that you're faster in the dark than a heavy man is sure of what he saw. Success on stealth. A little bit of XP. Oh, a natural 20. I rolled a 20 apparently. Cool. Nat 20 pays off gorgeously. You simply cease to be there, not a scuff, not a whisper of cloth. You're 12 feet down the gap and folded behind a jutting drain pipe before his slow eyes finish adjusting, and when they do, they find an empty black slot of nothing. A long pause, the doorman grunts, low and unconvinced. Bloody cats. He spits, rubs the back of his neck, and takes the whistle away from his lips and shuffles back to his stool. Uneasy but quiet, you let 3 of his breaths go before you move again. The gap spills you out at the rear, onto the landing's shadowed underside. A ledge of soot-stained stone over a long drop into small pipes sweating in there, and arms reach along the wall. That thread of warm light Vin's window, cracked a finger for the night air, its lace half drawn. You put your eye into the gap in the curtain, warm lamplight, and the man himself, Harbrook Vin, sits behind a wide, immaculate desk under a green-shaded lamp, narrow, pale, precise, hair oiled flat, a jeweler's loop idle on a chain at his throat. Not a monster. A clerk of monsters, which is worse. He's writing, or trying to. He keeps stopping, pen poised, head tilting toward the front of the house as if listening for a footstep that hasn't come, then dipping a nib into an inkwell gone too thin and frowning at it. A small brass handbell sits at his right hand. One shake, and he brings the clerk, the doorman, the whole quiet apparatus running. He's not calm. The delivery that never arrived is sitting behind his eyes, and every uncounted 4 minute is winding him tighter. Good. A worried man makes worried mistakes. You let your gaze travel the room the way Silas taught, shelves of bound ledgers, but those are the daybooks, the respectable lies. The real register won't be on an open shelf. It'll be behind the iron strong room door set into the far wall, squat, banded, a good lock, and yes, there, running the frame like a spider's single thread, a hair of silver wire, seating into a brass seat just under the lintel. The shriek ward, exactly where the old man said the scene would be, close enough to reach from a chair. Silas's clips are a weight in your pocket. Everything you came for is in that room. So is the man who bought your death. Awake, armed with a bell, and jumping at shadows. Wait for Vin to leave the office. Nope, don't have that kind of time. Bait him out, make a small noise up front, ease in, and go for the strong room behind him. Nah, I'm taking Vin quietly. You know, Silas was trying to give me wise advice, but, I don't like this guy. He's an evil guy. He could have just paid me to do a regular job, but instead he backstabbed me. And now he's getting sneak attacked. No. Are you hungry, buddy? All right. Hang on. I'm going to go make my boys some chicken nuggets real quick. Got chicken nuggets going in the air fryer here. Wait for those to get done. Yeah, I don't know. Do we? Do we try to sneak in? And I think the whole thing is just going to be easier if we take Vin quietly, but our heat is going to go up if we take Vin out, I think. Heat's going to go up no matter what we do. I think it'll go up more if we take out Vin. So the guy is inwardly struggling, I think, with taking out Vin. But nobody knows. Nobody knows about the contract that he put on me but him. And so Vin is the only one who knows the exact arrangement of the contract. We're attacking Vin. So, sneak attack on Vin. We're going to take him out, and then we're going to do the ward trick. Take our time with that. Get out with everything. Drop off some evidence of his wrongdoings, so his death looks like some kind of retaliation against that or something. Nuggies, is that what I said? When I asked my son, did I say nuggies instead of nuggets? I don't know if I did, but is that what you're saying? Did I? Oh, the AI is catching up the story. I guess it fell behind while we were sitting there thinking about it and talking about it. Oh, okay. Oh, failure. Man, by 1.2, dude. Okay, you wait for the pin to lift again, the little rhythm of his distraction, and on the next upstroke you go. Well, I failed the attack, but then fast hands, I try to grab the bell, and I rolled a 7, but he rolled a 1, which is a critical miss. And so the AI is probably going to like severely punish Vin right now for rolling that 1, hopefully. Vin feels the draft a half heartbeat before your hand lands. His head snaps around, pale eyes glowing wide, and his arm shoots for the bell with a strangled little wheeze and panics. His fumbling fingers don't grip the brass. They slap it. The bell tips, rolls, and you get your palm flat over it as it goes, trapping the clamper against your hand. So all it manages is a dead, muffled tick that dies on the desk. His chair scrapes back an inch. A chair scrape isn't a bell. It's not nothing, but it's not a bell. Then your rapier is under his jaw, and how broke Vin goes very, very still. He doesn't shout. Men like him never shout. Shouting is for people without options. He spent his whole life being the person with them. He sits frozen, breath whistling thin through his nose, the loop trembling on his chain, staring not at the blade but at you, cataloging your grease-smudged face, your clerk scholar over a killer's stillness, and arriving visibly at a sum he does not like. Ah, Halbert Van says. He breathes, barely a sound. The parcel. You're the parcel's runner. A dry, careful swallow against the steel. You're supposed to be in a drain. The strong room waits 10 feet away, its silver ward thread glinting under the lintel. The man who ordered you dead is a blade's breadth from your hand, alone, silenced, and doing arithmetic. And somewhere out front, a primed doorman may or may not have heard a chair move. Chairs move all the time. Nah, I'm not trusting him to open the strong room. He's going to blow the alarm. He can blow the alarm, but I can stop the alarm from going off. Who's above you? Give me the name. That's what Nettle wants me to find out. 9 years ago, a woman named Belle put Lysa's ghost on the desk between you and watch what the name does. No, I'm not going to. Nah. I just keep trying to bring Silas into this. I'm going to bring trouble, that old man. Bring his name into this. Bind and gag him. Crack the vault yourself. Who's above you? Give me the name. You son of a gun. I mean, you son of a crossbow, I guess. Son of a hand crossbow. Intimidation success. I don't even have that skill. So that must have been a good roll. I only have a +1. But I do a roll at 20 the first time? Is that why it's 2.20? I don't understand that part. The blade doesn't move, your voice does. Low, flat, the voice you learned watching Silas turn men inside out without raising it. I'm the parcels runner. I'm also the body that didn't stay in the drain, and I'm having a very bad night. And the only thing standing between you and the floor is how fast you answer. Who's above you? Give me the name. You watch his plan happen behind his eyes, the deflection, the point him at the books. Clever survivor's pivot. You watch him open his mouth to give you the room instead of the name, and then something in him just goes. Maybe it's the grease and the stillness and your successful intimidation check that you rolled earlier. The sure knowledge that you've already killed tonight. That's not true. Maybe he feels like it's true. Hang on, nuggets are done. Be right back. Or, ORR, I guess that's the name, or. He hears himself say it and goes, Gray. Lady Sabinia Orr. House Orr. The parcel was hers. She buys the. I said it out loud. You have to understand what you just made me do. She doesn't kill people who cross her, boys. She collects them. I just bought myself a shelf. Oh, goodness gracious. He's going to turn him into a item. That's what he's saying. So listen. You don't want her name. Her name gets us both reclaimed. You want the register. It's all in the strong room. Every buyer, every soul, every clean air house that ever paid me. Her worst of all. That's your shield. Take it. I'll open the door myself. I'll give you the whole rotten book. And you let me run tonight before she ever hears any of this. Deal? Deal? Well, I rolled a successful intimidation check, so... Open it. Slow. No tricks. Get the register, then take him with you. Make him come with me? I don't need him with me. That's the last thing I need is this idiot running around with me. I don't care about the doorman after I get the ledger. That doesn't matter. Yeah, what's really... Okay, I already know what's in the box already. Who or what you've got sealed in that cell? It's Orr's. He'd know. Okay. Yeah, tell me what's in the box. It's going to help me decide what I do with it. You know, apparently this lady has a thing for like putting people's souls inside of items, and like they become sentient items. Not really sure what happens to their body. I guess their body just dies, as far as I can tell. Thinking about this one for a little while. Before you open anything, I've been carrying that box across half this city, and things in the dark have been trying to take it off me all night. So you're going to tell me exactly what I've got, what's in it. It's not a what. You've been sleeping with it against your ribs. No, I haven't. A reclamation it isn't loot. Boy, it's a person. Bound down small and quiet in the shell. So she keeps a girl, Kel, Rena Kel. Name means nothing to you. His face says it should mean everything. She was a ward scribe, Argent ward scribe. She wrote the transit seals, kept the ledgers of what the Inquisition moved and for whom, which means she wrote down in her hand every time a silver helm carried a soul to my door for Lady Orr. She was going to tell someone, so Orr didn't kill her. Killing her makes a martyr, and a body and questions. Oh, Orr had her reclaimed. Filed her away, asleep in a box, alive, to sell to herself. I guess it condenses them down in some way. The only witness to the whole rotten arrangement, bound down where she can't speak and can't die and can't be found. That's what sleeping in your cell, not a prize, a person, and the one piece of proof that could burn House Orr to the waterline. His eyes come up to yours, and for the first time, the calculation in them has something almost like warning in it. And she can't just be opened, break that seal without a binder's hand, and you don't wake her, you kill her. Or you loose what 9 months in the dark has made of her. So whatever you were planning to do with your leverage, it breathes. The blade wavers just slightly as the whole night rearranges itself in your head, not a box, not leverage, a girl bound down asleep against your own ribs for the last hour, carried across the sump and up 3 tiers while things in the dark hummed toward her heartbeat, a witness Orr couldn't kill. And does he not remember putting it down there? So you see why the register matters more than me. Let me open it. Take the books. Take your proof. Take the girl if you can find a binder mad enough to unshelve her. Just let me run. Because when Orr learns her witness is loose in the city instead of asleep in her cabinet, this stops being the worst night of your life and becomes the last one for both of us. Open it slow. Take the deal. Yeah, let's get the stuff. Um, I might want to check the creak at the door here. Yeah. We got to try to make sure the doorman doesn't come in on us. So yep, I go ahead and threaten the noble, the guy here, threaten him. He nods. He's already been intimidated, so that was good. I roll a stealth. Oh, I rolled another natural 20 for stealth. Nice. The doorman shoulders in, cap first, sap in one hand, the other drifting near the brass whistle. And his small eyes go straight past the empty air where you are to the desk to his boss sitting in the green lamplight, looking exactly as tired and irritable as a curator kept up past every bell should look. Beg pardon, Mr. Vin. Thought I heard a chair go over, and I'd swear I saw Summit in Cutter's Gap earlier, so I'm, being sharp, like you said. He takes another step in, filling the doorway, his back now 3 feet away from your blades. His eyes rake the room out of dull diligence. Everything as it should be, sir. Vin sits very still under the weight of the green knife's memory. A single bead of sweat tracks down his temple in the lamplight. His mouth opens. Whatever he says next decides it, and you're close enough to end the doorman before the whistle clears his belt, if it comes to that. The man's broad back is right there. He has no idea you're in the room. The whole thing balances on Vin's next breath. And on whether you trust a cornered liar to spin it. Well, no, I don't. I'm going to take the doorman now silently. Yep. Yep. I'm taking out the doorman. I don't have the strength for a grapple. I know I was successful in my intimidate check earlier, but The guard might give him some courage. I don't think I have the charisma to just step in and take over. I'm going to have to take the doorman. Let's go. Sneak attack on the doorman. Right, no gamble. Exactly. We're not gambling today. 9, failure. We are gambling and we failed. We failed to gamble. We rolled like a 4 on the dice. Steel skids off hidden brass. The thrust that should have gone up under his ribs finds the gorget buried under his great coat collar. That dull plate of a doorman's brass you clean forgot. And your point screeches off it and loud, drawing a shallow line instead of a killing one. He's alive, and now he knows. He comes apart under your hands like a bull. Muffled roar boils into your clamping palm. What? He, what? Okay, so I covered his mouth with my hand, with my fast hands. I got it. I understand. And he drives backward off his heels, ramming you toward the shelves. Boots scrabbling, one big hand still pinned over the whistle in your fist, but the other clawing back over his shoulder, hunting your eyes, your throat, anything. A ledger stack topples. The desk edge barks against the wall. It is all suddenly about to become noise, the crashing, thrashing kind that brings a constable at a run. You've got him locked chest to back, his whistle strangling in your grip, his life leaking thin from a wound that didn't take, but he's bigger than you. A terror made him strong, and terrors made him strong, and you have maybe 2 seconds before he throws you into those shelves and fills his lungs to scream. We're attacking with the poison knife. Alright, come on, let's roll good, man. I know we can't roll good all the time. Okay, we did roll good that time. 12 damage. I mean, it's probably not enough just to finish this guy off, I don't think. The coated edge does what the rapier couldn't. It opens him clean across the throat, and whatever roar he was building drowns before it's born. No whistle, no scream, just a wet, startled rush of breath through a ruin that can't shape sound. The poison's academic. The poison is academic after that. The man was already falling. His weight goes loose and enormous in your arms, and you ride him down, turning the crash into a slow, controlled slump against the toppled ledgers, one hand still muffling a mouth that's stopped trying out. Wide, dark stain drinks into the good, clean rug. He shudders once and is done. Silent, ugly, but silent. And in the half second that took all of you, Finn runs. Not for the front, where a dead man lies between him and the door, sideways, bolting for the office's inner door on soft, panicked steps, one hand already reaching for the handle, the dill and the strong room, and his own promise abandoned the instant your blades, your hands were full. Yeah, that makes sense. His 6 feet from you. He is 6 feet from you and 3 from the door. And if he gets through it, he's screaming down a house you don't know the shape of. You're still crouched over a cooling body with a red knife in your fist. The rug is slick under your boot, and the man you need is 3 steps from turning. You're quiet. Perfect infiltration into a screaming house. Blade in hand, a dagger's weight at your belt. Half a heartbeat to choose. Hurl a dagger at his legs. Throw to kill. Bury the dagger between his shoulders. Rita's key. Use my speed to beat him to the door. Or try to intimidate him with a name. I think I like my chances with trying to beat him to the door better. Alright, so I was successful I figured I would have a better chance at that because a 14 was successful. Alright, so I cut him off. I panicked. The offer stands. The vault, the books, all of it are worth more to you breathing, and I know it. Yeah, I'm gonna clip the shunt across the seam like Silas told me to, and I'm gonna make him open it. Where's the binder who can wake Rin? Yeah, I need to find out that. I got a little bit more time now that the guard is down, and that worked out. I mean, decent, not as good as it could have, but yeah, whatever it's doing here, where it's catching up on the story every so often, whatever it's doing with that is what's just really increasing its ability to maintain the story here and to like build a compelling narrative that you kind of have to build into Everweave yourself a little bit. Set a binder's hand. Added Bettany Crane. All right, Bettany Crane. That's the person who's gonna open the box. But hear the whole of it because half of it gets you killed. Crane, is it mine? She's ours. Kept on the moth's own ground. Watch closer than the vault you're about to rob. And I am about to rob it too. Because a binder who can unseal is a binder who can empty. You wanted your witness woken. The only hand that can do it sits in the middle of the exact web you just tore yourself out of. That's the truth. I'd not sell it to you, dear, because I don't think it does you any good at all. Okay. I'm going to block the ward with Silas's trick. He's going to unlock the vault. I'm taking all of the ledgers and his coin. Anything else he has, like that amulet on his profile. Little amulet he's wearing there. I'll give that to Silas as a souvenir. I failed at something. Oh no, now the alarm is going off. And I had a good chance to get that too. That's ridiculous. All of that for the alarm to just start going off. At the worst possible second, the fine motor betrays you. The pinch clip seats a hair parallel to the seat. The loop reads open for a quarter heartbeat and the ward. Chirp, one note. Sharp, silver, and loud in the small hours. Before your thumb mashes a clip. Home, true, and the sound dies as fast as it came. Silence rushes back in, but that single chirp hangs in your memory like a struck bell, and across the room then has gone the color of ash. Tamper chirp. That's an Argent ward. It doesn't wake my doorman. It pings a monitor. Somewhere aboard ward clerk. Just watched a light blink on with my address under it. They log those and check those. Your quiet night just got a clock on it. And if that constable on the gallery has half an ear, he heard a ward sing where no ward should. Alright, let's get the vault open. Let's get the stuff. Let's get out of here then. I'll fight my way out if I have to. It's all good. We got in here. We got the name Nettle wants us to get for her. We got a name of somebody who can help us revive that person who's stuck in the box. You know, I'm a thief, not a warlock. We gotta help that person in the box. Can't just let somebody sit in a box, especially when Silas's wife, when that happened to her. You know, it's kind of like saving Silas's second wife vicariously through this person. Failed investigation check. So that's good. Okay, the real ledger is hidden inside a dozen that look identical. No time to read spines. I feel in the dark. No time to open a single one. I wasn't supposed to open them anyway because some of them were warded. The buckram is cold. The same page ward. Okay, I remember that. Cold as a box, and when your fingers brush a slim clasp near the back, it gives a faint warm tick against your skin. A reader's trap. Crack the wrong cover here, and it flares. And a flare is a beacon. You take them all. Yeah, I wanted to take them all anyway. Just take them all. The whole armful. Sleeved into the dead doorman's shoulder. Satchel. Oh, his shoulder satchel. Okay. Heavy bulky. A weight that'll fight you on a window ledge. You don't know which is the register. You have to sort it somewhere quiet later, and very carefully. The cash boxes you don't bother forcing. You tip the loose weight of them. Clipped gold, cut stratus crowns into your palm and bucket, and the coin tray with it. Fast money, no ward on it. Is it still thinking down here? Warded lockbox. Stashed. Boards and burgess papers. Silver hot wire. Coated knife. Vin's ledgers. Money, lens, amulet. Vin's good chain. Vin's purse. Fat, unsorted. Okay. So I don't get to actually add that to my coins yet, and it's really realistic because it's a big fat purse of unsorted coins. Um, yeah, I need to bind him and gag him. Got to give myself a head start, especially since I'm carrying all these books. All right, so I tie him up. Yeah, bought me a little bit of time. Got his, got the coin, got the books. I've got his amulet, bunny lens, whatever that is. Out in the dark gallery, the measured, unhurried tread of a man who walks the same 50 feet every quarter bell and has for years a lantern's smear of light slides along the perfumer's glass below. And to your right, not running, not alarmed yet, the bot constable doing his round and passing directly beneath the ledge work you climbed in on. On the rug behind you, Vin goes very still, listening for the same boots, saving every scrap of air for the one muffled sound he might get out when they're close. All right. I think that that went okay. That went pretty good. Now we just got to make sure we get out of here and get back to our different locations. But I'm getting tired and I got to work in the morning. So I think we're going to call it for a night. It was a good, like, 2.5 hour stream. I really like this app for, like, the long-term campaign. Like, we're not even really done with the first quest here. So, all right.